What's going on, everyone? I am the Kilted Cajun. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to yet more Hogwarts Legacy news in this lovely little article of unbiased criticism of gamers from thegamer.com. We have Jade King, who simply, well, to put it mildly, despises gamers. A video game website putting out an article that insults gamers. The people who are actually going to be coming to this website, announcing beyond a shadow of a doubt, she hates you. The website hates you. Because regardless of what you try to say, if someone writes an article for this website, it doesn't matter what the website says. It's a representation of the website. So, in this lovely little I'm going to die on this goddamn hill of moronicism, anyway, Hogwarts Legacy made us ignore transphobia, so what's next? This article is such a reach. I found it astounding. This is going to be so much fun. Gamers are pretty spineless. Really. Because we wanted to play a video game. You are spineless. Let's check it out. Hogwarts Legacy has already sold over 12 million copies, despite such a fantastic Twitter attempt at a boycott of this game, because if you bought this game, you're a transphobe. Good job, everyone. We worked together to show that the pesky woke boycott who's boss and stuck up for the little billionaire and multinational corporation, because that was the intent of every gamer who bought this game, who has streamed this game on Twitch, on YouTube, everyone who has just sat there and been talking and raving about how much fun this game is. You stuck up for the little billionaire. I have some unfortunate news. J.K. Rowling has no problem standing up for herself, whether it's to mock, troll, or put someone in their place for saying outright lies, backing it up with solicitors. I thought that was funny. The continued acceptance of J.K. Rowling's universe and its transphobic baggage. See, here's where we get into the reaching part. Transphobic baggage is clear sign that gamers are willing to throw aside societal progress and the support of minority. Fuck you, you're not a minority. You're all over media nowadays. Everywhere. Comic books, movies, TV shows, music. Everywhere. You're not a minority group. You're not marginalized anymore. Every single aspect of the LGBTQ community is being pushed and pushed and pushed across all forms of media. So how can you actually, to the point of actually being used by corporations to sell products? Happens every June. Absolutely. Every single June. It's happening this month right now with International Women's Day month, everything. Corporations are using you to sell a product. That is the epitome of acceptance. Willing to throw aside societal progress in support of minority groups if it means playing the next big video game. I said this before and I'll say it again, and I'll say it every damn time. Gamers don't give a toss about your politics. We only want a good video game. We couldn't care less what the main character looks like. Male, female, black, white. We don't care. We're interested in story, dialogue, gameplay, looks. Regardless if it's photorealistic, when it comes to first-person shooters like Call of Duty, or cartoon realism like Fortnite, future, past video games. We don't care whether it's even pixelated. There's a lot of indie games out there are fantastic, and they are pixelated graphics. Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 quality graphics, and they are amazing. We just don't care about this bullshit political movement that is constantly being shoved down our throats. February was an avalanche of moral compromises. No, it wasn't. Oh, from fellow critics, friends, and family. I watched as they bargained with their personal worth as a trans ally if they decided to buy this game, their excitement outweighing the pleads. The pleads? That's supposed to be please, not pleads. Outweighing the pleas of us fighting for human rights on the sideline. Here at The Gamer, we decided against reviewing or guiding? Eh, Hogwarts Legacy. Yep, you missed out on probably a metric fuck ton of traffic, too. Our coverage instead serves to inform the greater conversation and shine a light on how its potential success and the ongoing boycott speaks to a far larger societal issues. There is not a game, and there never will be a video game, that will have any sort of effect on society outside of people talking about it, whether in a positive fashion or in a negative fashion. That's it. Gamers want good games. That's it. Let's continue. But how rampant transphobia is becoming. Yeah, okay. People have different opinions on biology. Okay. But if. I had a brain fart. Excuse me. My brain skipped a beat. I've already read this article. It hurt. But with how rampant transphobia is becoming in today's world and the tangible connection it has with the wizarding world, all because the creator has an opinion, you have to ask gamers whether they're purposefully cast aside the red button issue in favor of their own enjoyment. Yes, all day, every day. Every single day. People played Atomic Hearts, which probably has a direct connection to funding Russia because it's in Russia. It's a Russian-based development company, development studio, and you have to toe the line. Why aren't you talking about Chinese-related? Where's your articles about Genshin Impact? Huh? Where are they? Yes, that is whataboutism. I understand that, but you're not going to see a single one of these websites, these outlets, talking about Genshin Impact. But they'll run their goddamn mouths about Atomic Hearts. If the buck doesn't stop with the public treatment of an entire minority group, you're not a minority anymore, where exactly does it? Well, you might be a percentage of society, but if you look at the mainstream media, mainstream entertainment, you wouldn't think so. Every time you turn around, the female, if there's a female protagonist in a video game, modern day, 2023, 2022, 2020s, whatever, you can almost bet, especially if she has the hair shaved on the sides, she's going to be a lesbian. Guaranteed. That is a red flag for so many people. It's like, oh, SJW bullshit, not interested. Oh God, my brain is not working. Arcane. Arcane was an odd thing because Vi had that haircut. She had the hair color, she had the haircut, she was a lesbian. And god damn, that was a great series. The success of Hogwarts Legacy was never really down to how many copies it sold. Yes, it was. Sold 12 million copies. That means it's a success. It is absolutely down. It is just that simple. Or the overall Metacritic score. Metacritic score probably affected the bonuses they got. Its real victory, here we go, its real victory is that it was received with open arms despite the creator of the universe, which had nothing to do with the game itself. She created the Harry Potter universe. The developer of Hogwarts Legacy took that idea and ran with it. Demonizes trans people. No, she doesn't. She mocks them. She makes fun of them because people are stupid online. On Twitter. It's on Twitter. She demonizes trans people. Please show your receipts. And not the ones where she's making fun of y'all. Widening a divide that is now worming its way through everyday bias and the minds of politicians and the public. No, that would be the people on your side, in your community, who are doing that just fine. Coming out with insane demands, hyperbolic statements, and just so many more ridiculous things that people are, the general populace is just kind of looking at you like you're retarded. This is getting ridiculous. Trans people like me, and here we have the bias, have become a sick and twisted bargaining chip for the upcoming elections. Hey, wait a minute. Is this some self-awareness? Trans people like me have become a sick and twisted bargaining chip for upcoming elections and a topic for right-wing rags to pull out. Well, maybe. Pull out for a quick and easy hit piece to stoke up the outrage built on a sensationalist chorus of lies. You understand left wing does the same thing. Like, you're not special because one side of the political fence uses you as a scapegoat, right? Both sides do it to everyone. It's the game. It's what they do. Get your head out of your ass and realize you're being used. You're being used by politicians, by corporations. We are all being used. Fight against it. Ignore the bullshit. Stop falling for the propaganda. God. Jesus, I'm getting on a rant. Battle lines were drawn between trans people and Rowling. That's because you started it. You did. J.K. Rowling came out with an opinion, and you lost your ever-loving shit. Regular people don't care. Do what you want to do. Do no harm to anyone else. Nobody cares. Leading up in blah, blah, blah. Battle lines were drawn between trans people and Rowling because of you. In the lead up to the release of Hogwarts Legacy, you started it. You cast the first stone. Several outlets and organizations made their stance obvious, while others, unfortunately, pussyfooted around. I'll agree with that one. The sad reality of how big the game was. Yeah, just review the game. Keep your politics out of it. Keep your opinions out of it. Review the game. But you couldn't even do that. Now, like all the articles I read talking about the game, actually reviewing trailers and whatnot, had to put the same statements in there. The regurgitated cookie-cutter statements. J.K. Rowling's bad. She's a transphobe. The profits it will take in with guaranteed traffic and engagement. Yep. It was always going to sell. Yeah, I think you helped it along. I think this so-called failed boycott definitely helped it sell. I genuinely believe that. Had it not been for so many people screaming and hollering on Twitter, on social media, people like me making videos, I don't think it would have sold 12 million. 7 or 8, sure. Over 5, definitely. But 12, honestly, probably not. As so many of you are eager to highlight, it is the Harry Potter experience of your dreams. Yep, and a chance to be the witch or wizard you spent your childhood fantasizing about. Yes, it's a fun fucking game. Human beings tend to form attachments to media. Why? Okay. That takes them back to much simpler times once, and here, you just have to put this bullshit in. One where trans people weren't being murdered on a regular basis. Please cite your sources that don't involve their significant others. Men and women are murdered every day by their significant others. If you want to qualify this statement with some proof, I'm all ears. On a regular basis, while countless uninformed internet dipshits label them as predators. Some of them are. Sorry. Just like there are a lot of priests out there that are predators. There's a lot of teachers out there who are predators. You think just because you're trans that you are not, you can't be subject to the same scrutiny and the same problems? It's a people problem, not a group problem. People suck. The real world is changing, yet we refuse to accept that games are too. What? Games are changing. They're constantly changing. There's more and more diversity and inclusion. Some of it good. Some of it is just superficial, surface level bullshit to check a box. Most recent example, shut down a studio because the game was shit, because the dialogue was shit and people weren't interested in it. Transphobia will never exist in a vacuum and factors everything we say, do, and consume. Huh? Transphobia will never exist in a vacuum and factors everything we say. Okay. Hogwarts Legacy is part of that reality, and one we can't afford to treat as an exception. I don't understand this statement. Yet this is exactly what's happened. We bring similar media to task for homophobia and racism. There's nothing homophobic or racism about the video game. I said that. But suddenly this kind of discrimination is excusable. Okay. Hogwarts Legacy is separate from J.K. Rowling. Okay. Minority groups don't exist on a tier of indifference dependent on whether actually showing your support gets in the way of a cool video game. Oh boy. I don't know what to say there. Like, you're using some sort of video game as this political platform and using it to denigrate the people who want to purchase it, who want to have fun, who a lot of them probably have no clue what I'm even talking about. They don't watch channels like mine. They don't come to websites like this. They couldn't care less what Rowling's opinion is. But you're going to lump every single one of them into this with the transphobia label. What kind of person does that make you? Okay. We asked you to cast aside a product to tell corporations that transphobia was a deal breaker for you, and it turns out it wasn't. I keep saying it. There's nothing transphobic about the game. The bartender is trans woman. She's a witch. Her story is pretty damn cool. Oh no, you're Sir Rona. Fuck off. I think Rowling's views are mainstream enough in the modern era that ignoring them was a complicit acknowledgement on the part of most. Nope, you're wrong. To say, I just love Harry Potter, as you buy the game and donate a few pounds to charity in a spur of the moment admission of guilt isn't good enough, because nothing will ever be good enough for people like you. Not trans. I'm talking about the lunatic SJW who's looking for something to champion on Twitter. Nothing will ever be good enough for people like that. Ever. Don't apologize. Live your life. Tell them all to fuck off. It definitely won't be the last time gamers cast aside their beliefs in favor of short, unfulfilling bursts of fun. Okay, so if it is a burst of fun, it is not unfulfilling. This statement by definition is incorrect, because if you get a short burst of fun, it is fulfilling. It is a fulfilling burst of fun, especially considering, we'll use the case of Hogwarts Legacy. I've played the goddamn game for 30 hours so far. I haven't been able to play it for the past week, otherwise I'd probably be up to 60 by now. And it is a long burst of fun, quite very fulfilling. It's very enjoyable. The stories, the letters that you find throughout the game, it's an interesting story. It's a engaging story. I'm enjoying the mechanics, the gameplay, the fights, the combat mechanics. The puzzle mechanics are quite interesting, trying to figure them out all on my own. It's fantastic. But to sit there, where was I? Gamers cast aside their beliefs. When it comes to video game, gamers have one belief. Good game. Full stop. Trying to feebly justify to my face how it doesn't make you a bad person, because it doesn't. You're just buying a video game. If you're going to start criticizing people for the purchases that they make based on the corporation that they purchased it from, I have some very bad news for you. Everyone, every corporation, all of them, have shady, shadowy backgrounds, skeletons in their proverbial closets. You're delusional if you think otherwise. Trying to feebly justify to my face how it doesn't make you a bad person, because it doesn't, and you just want to hang out with your homies. Oh, you're using such colloquial terms. Homies in charms class should really highlight. Yeah, but it's a single player game. Shut up. Should really highlight that perhaps you're trying to bargain for the wrong side. Gamers aren't on any side. They're on their own side. The dopamine hit. The games. This is just, Oh, here we go some more. Hogwarts Legacy feels like a defining point in the evolution of games. Huh? How? Adaptation of a property millions grew up on that flirts with the bloated magic of AAA open world design to conjure up an adventure that, to many, feel unmissable. How much longer is this article? There was a couple of really good parts. The reaches that this woman makes in this article. Yes, I'm going to call her a woman. Jade. I'm assuming gender here. It also surfaced an ideological tug of war, and you lost. Your side lost because gamers want to play fun games. You don't have a transphobic bone in your body, then there's you don't have a transphobic bone in your body. There's no way you'd support Rowling. But she didn't touch the game. You simply need to support the developers, and it's fair. Oh, we're just going off the same little talking points. On one side sat hollow excuses and transparently perform. Oh, Jesus Christ! Editing. While on the other side served to throw trans people under the bus like they always do. I'm so confused by all these statements in here. None of this happened with this video game. Nobody threw trans people under the bus. We mocked you. We laughed at your foolish attempt at a boycott. We lashed out whenever so many people went into live streams to try and demonize someone for playing the game, because gamers will not tolerate that shit. When you come after one of us, you come after all of us. We may not agree on what game to play, or what game is good or what game is bad, but there's a tendency for gamers to unite against everyone else. When you attack someone in their stream that has a fan base, we will fight back. Gamers fight back. We're tired of the bullshit. We don't care if it's a big megacorp. It may not last very long in the case of, like Blizzard and Activision. Last a few weeks, but it happens. The more you talk about this, the more it'll keep going. The more you will be mocked and made fun of, and the sales figures will be thrown in your face to show how much of a success your boycott was, when all you had to do was just let it go the way. Just let it pass you by. But you had to scream from the rafters, and people did their own research, they did their own digging, and some people had the same opinion as you, but a vast majority of people had a different opinion than you, based on what J.K. Rowling said. And they didn't like how you were handling any of this, openly attacking people for the purchase of a video game. So they fought back the best way they knew how, by buying another copy, or buying a copy. People who didn't even plan on buying the game bought a copy. People who had every intention of buying the game and just wanted to throw it in your face bought multiple copies and gave them away. That is what your boycott did. It just, period. Let's see, where was I in this beautifully written, just hyperbolic as hell letter? It speaks to the spineless rhetoric and admittance that the agency of minorities can change on a whim. What? It speaks to the spineless rhetoric, an admittance to the agency of minorities. Did you get a thesaurus when you wrote this article? Or you just wanted to use a bunch of big fucking words? I do that sometimes. Agency of minorities can change on a whim to fit your own flippant attitude. I fear this will be the start of more exceptions. Oh boy. If you believe that this is some sort of beginning to people rising against the trends, rising against the LGBTQ, rising against this group of people or that group of people, simply because we have to, because gamers have opinions that will clash with yours. Oh my God, are you pretentious? I know I'm repeating myself, but good Lord, we don't care, not even a tiny little bit, about your politics. The only thing we care about when it comes to politics is keep it the fuck out of the games. That's it. Keep it out of the video games. You want to put a trans character in there? Sure, cool, fine. There's one in Hogwarts Legacy. Guess what? There's one in Cyberpunk 2077. They are not thrown in your face all of a sudden, all this other shit. Okay? It's not blatant. It's not, it's not shoehorned in. How many different ways can I say it? I don't know. I can't think of any more. It's subtle, organic. They're just there. And the only way you can find out about it is if you actually go looking for that information and you pay attention to little hints here and there, especially with Cyberpunk and Claire. When you start trying to shove it down everyone's throats and claim that oh, you're bad if you don't like it. It's like, well, then the gamers are going to fight back against crap like that. I fear this will be the start of more exceptions because you're being hyperbolic. Showing companies that transphobia is no deterrent to millions excited to indulge in the next big thing. Gamers don't care about your bullshit. There's no winning here. Nope. The gamers won. They got a good game. So yeah, there was a winner here, and it was the customer. Not your little consumer bullshit. It was the customer that won in this one. I have definitely gone too long with this one. We're all obedient little consumers. No, you are an obedient little consumer. I know quite a few people who play a lot of video games. They make their career on YouTube, and they had absolutely no interest in playing the game because they're not Harry Potter fans. Sorry. Desperate for another dose of serotonin that can drown out the fact that LGBTQ plus people are marginalized and the world continues to burn. Well, half of that statement is true. We should not have to consider human rights, politics, or our own moral worth as an individual when it comes to having fun. You're right, and not a single person that purchased the game considered any of that. They did not consider human rights because it's just a video game. They did not consider politics because it's just a goddamn video game. No one was harmed in the making of Hogwarts Legacy, contrary to what you might believe. Contrary to what people like this are trying to shove down your throat. This article, I'm done with it, is a load of bullshit. Jade King, simply looking for an outlet for some sort of political writings. Stop using video games as a political platform. People are tired of it. Gamers are tired of it. And that's it. That's all I've got. What do you think of the article? What do you think of my ranting? I don't know. Thank you for making it this far. I do appreciate the watch. You have a good night. See you on the next one.